Grass River Natural Area is our region's premier nature center. Its primary mission is to protect and preserve almost 1,500 acres of high-quality wetlands and uplands, while encouraging general stewardship of natural resources and providing nature-based education. But there are some tough challenges facing northern Michigan's natural areas. In addition to the impacts of nearby development and proliferation of invasive species, the advance of climate change now threatens to change key habitats throughout the region. Here's Grass River's Executive Director, Haley Breniser.
You know, the conversation about stewarding this wonderful piece of land centers on how can we be prepared for changes that are going to occur. So climate change, obviously being a huge one and very prominent right now and forever. We want to know, how is our forest structure going to change over time because of a drier, warmer climate? And how does that affect the soils? How does it affect the fact that we have 80% of our land is wetlands? So we've got vernal pools, and we've got a lot of species that rely on vernal pools to be alive and active and wet, you know, in the long term for successful reproduction.
Naturalist and Education Director James Dake has published a field guide to the Grass River Natural Area.
So wetlands in general already have many species of concern in the state of Michigan. If you think about a lot of our reptiles and amphibians, they're very sensitive to habitat change. So here at Grass River we have the Blanding's turtle, wood turtles, many species of salamander and frogs, which are all very sensitive to begin with. So when you start introducing climate change, which can rapidly change habitats in Michigan, it's a question of whether those species can adapt in time in order to survive.
Showing real leadership, the Board of Directors is supporting the staff and volunteers in their efforts to better understand and manage the rapid shifts in habitat caused by a changing climate. Here's board member Rich Hannan.
I think that the board really understands uniformly that we have, you know, there's enough evidence to show that it is happening. And it's not just happening in Grass River, but Grass River is just an ideal place to look at it.
So, you know, we're thinking a lot about that as a staff and volunteers, and it helps us make best management decisions as far as the management of this property.
The staff is already reaching out to researchers to discover how flora and fauna have changed and are changing. At the same time, Grass River is helping the larger community grapple with the difficult concepts of climate and habitat change through place-based education.
So when you think about the factor of climate change in wetlands, it adds a whole other angle of concern with understanding habitat loss in the state of Michigan. So we work a lot through education to really get people first kind of falling in love with the outdoors to begin with. And then from there, we can kind of reach out and get into some of those deeper topics like climate change to address the fact that things are changing and that there are ways that people can get involved, whether it's doing local citizen science or small things at home, to get them interested and appreciative of the issue.
We have a responsibility, I feel as a scientist, I have a responsibility to recognize that and recognize the science behind it. And I feel that we as a board should support and recognize the value of the science and the contributions we can make to that science.